What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because the Athletic newspaper is reporting, or news outlet is reporting, that Liverpool held positive talks with Ryan Gravenbech's representatives. Powerhouse Dutch midfielder who just signed for Bayern Munich last season is demanding more playing time from Thomas Tuchel, the new Bayern manager. Otherwise he wants to leave Bayern Munich, and he gave an interview which I will tell you guys in full. But first, the report says that positive discussions have taken place between Ryan Gravenbech's camp, representatives, agents and Liverpool. However, Bayern Munich are saying that they don't really want to sell Gravenbech just 1 year after they signed him. But it's obvious that Gravenbech doesn't want to sit on the bench at Bayern Munich. He only started one game in the Bundesliga, and behind Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka, two world-class midfielders, and potentially Bayern Munich are in talks to sign others, and Thomas Müller of course. Ryan Gravenbech didn't get much playing time, and the perfect midfielder, according to some football experts, was one of the best players in the Netherlands for Ajax before he made his move to Bayern Munich. Unfortunately for him, neither Julian Nagelsmann nor Thomas Tuchel saw him as first choice last season, and Bayern Munich had a very up and down season. They only won the Bundesliga because Dortmund failed to win their last home game against Mainz. So the fact that both Liverpool and Bayern Munich are so keen to have Gravenbech next season says a lot about what kind of a caliber player he is. He's a fantastic number 8 with a brilliant range of passing and the ability to carry the ball into the opposition half. And Gravenbech also offers a lot off the ball due to his fantastic work rate, his energy, his dynamism, his work ethic. He's a perfect midfielder for Liverpool's high pressing, counter pressing, heavy metal style of football. And Liverpool holding positive talks with Gravenbech and his representatives suggests that Gravenbech's camp are keeping their options open. They are not against a move away from Bayern Munich, because they know for their client to develop and grow as a footballer, he needs to play football. Sitting on the bench at a fantastic club like Bayern is not what you want to do at the age of just 21 years old. Gravenbech is also very tall, 190 centimeters tall, just like me. He's the same height. That's like 6'3" tall for you guys in the United Kingdom. And he can play defensive midfield and center midfield. According to Transfermarkt, his current value is around 30 million euros, but I guess Bayern Munich would want a little bit more from him if he was about to be sold, because they signed him from Ajax for 35 million euros. So 45 million could be enough for Liverpool to sign Ryan Gravenbech. So let me know, do you guys want Ryan Gravenbech at Liverpool? Do you think he would be a great midfield option next season? And leave a like on this video if you enjoy these Liverpool transfer news updates, and subscribe if you are new around here so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates on my channel. And he only scored one goal and got one assist, that was both in the German Cup, and it's understandable that Gravenbech is very frustrated because he needs to play a lot more. He started one game in the Bundesliga against Werder Bremen. All the other games he was either a substitute or on the bench. And yes, in the Champions League he started 2 games against Inter and Victoria Pilsen, and also he started a cup game against the 3rd division side, but that's it. All the other games he was either not even playing on the bench or substituted on for 10-15 minutes. And that's very disappointing for Gravenbech. I expect he was expecting a lot more game time. And Gravenbech said he doesn't want to experience a year like that again. He has been very disappointed after the season, even though Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga title. He said, I don't want to experience a season like that again. I just want to play more. Yes, it's preferably at Bayern Munich, but that hints that if he's not guaranteed game time, if Thomas Tuchel doesn't guarantee him more minutes, more playing time, then he wants to go. He wants to be sold, and he wants to go to a club where he can get a lot more minutes. And Liverpool at the moment have pretty much a vacuum in their midfield department. We still are working on 1 or 2 midfield players at the moment. Of course, we are working on Kepren Thuram, Manu Kone, Gabri Veiga of Celta Vigo. He has a £34 million release clause, but Liverpool will only trigger that if we failed to land our higher priority transfers, and Gravenbech is on the shortlist for Liverpool. James Pearce pretty much confirmed it in a recent Athletic article that that Ryan Gravenbech is on a shortlist for Liverpool. And Ryan Gravenbech grew more and more frustrated because he did everything in training. He did a brilliant preparation for each game, and he thought he earned a start more often, and Julian Nagelsmann just didn't fancy him, probably because of the pressure on his job that Bayern Munich pretty much had to win every game, and they failed to do so in the start of the second half of the season. Dortmund went on a brilliant winning run, and Bayern were neck and neck with Dortmund until the end of the season, so they had to win every game. Nagelsmann had pressure on him, and in the end he got sacked, I think pretty prematurely. But then Gravenberch played a little bit more under Thomas Tuchel, and he says that gave me a good feeling. Gravenbech was in the starting 11 on the last game against 1. FC Köln, as well as starting against Bayern Munich. Sorry, I somehow missed that before. But Gravenbech's future will be sorted out only after the under-21 European Championships, where he is selected for the Netherlands squad, and probably when he goes back to Bayern, that's when he will sort his future out. But he says that he wants to be at a club where I play 100%, so where he's pretty much guaranteed to start a lot of games. He doesn't want to sit on the bench for like 80 or 90% of the games, and I don't see a scenario where Ryan Gravenbech will play 70, 80 games of a Bayern Munich season, because they just have a lot of better midfielders. That's not the case at Liverpool. You could make an argument that Ryan Gravenbech, because he's very dynamic, very tall, muscular, energetic, that he would start ahead of Henderson, and he would start ahead of Thiago in some games where we need physicality and pace and power in the midfield. When we need technical ability, then Thiago could start if he is fit, but Thiago is so injury prone, he probably will miss half of the season with injuries. Hopefully not. Hopefully Liverpool sign enough midfielders so we don't have to start Thiago every 3 days, because that would really, that's what ruined him last season as well. That's what killed his great momentum. He had a brilliant run of games where he was absolutely fantastic, but then because we played him every 3 days, we overplayed him. He got this hip injury which ruined the last 3 months of the season. I think Thiago only played once. If we could select Thiago for just once a week, playing maybe a Premier League game, and then he sits out the Europa League game, the League Cup game, the FA Cup game, whatever is in between, and yes, in the latter stages of the Europa League you might want to play Thiago against the better teams, but I think if you just select him very carefully, then Thiago can stay fit for a lot more than just half a season if you are only playing him once a week. Selecting, if we play a smaller side in the Premier League, then play him in the Europa League, or maybe even rest him in some weeks, because Thiago is a very, very precious player. And Ryan Gravenbech has very good stats. His defensive work is 73rd percentile for tackles, progressive play is 81st percentile for successful take-ons, 77th percentile for progressive passes, and attacking prowess, he's in the top 7% of for shot creating actions. According to the stats, it's clear for all to see how the player has gathered Liverpool's attention. Of course, right now, Ryan Gravenbech is not the finished article. He's still only 21 years old. So he still is improving, growing, and developing. But Liverpool would be foolish not to take into account, a limited number of minutes at Bayern, especially in the Bundesliga. Across 33 games, so in the Bundesliga you have 34 games, so he missed only one game. He played only 937 minutes. That's less than 10.5 games, 10.5 full games. Imagine, in 33 games you are playing less than 10.5 games. I mean, that's very, very low. And Jurgen Klopp would feel very confident that he can mold Ryan Gravenbech into a very, very good player, a starting 11 player at Liverpool. And I think this is the perfect time, if you are a midfielder, to join Liverpool, because I don't think there will be another summer where we lose 3 midfielders, 3 senior midfielders, and we are looking to sign 2 or 3 midfielders to replace them. Ryan Gravenbech said, I want to be at a club where I play 100%. That is my preference, because I don't want to have have another year like the one that I've had now. One season like that is good. I really learned a lot about myself, but I just want to play football. And Bayern recently announced, on top of the world-class midfielders that they have, that they are signing Konrad Laimer on a free transfer from Leipzig on a 4-year deal. So that's another midfielder probably to be selected ahead of Ryan Gravenbech. So that's not ideal from Gravenbech's point of view, definitely. But Liverpool have to be patient. We have to wait until these European Under-21 championships finish, and they only start in like a week from now or 5 or 6 days from now. So that will be probably well into preseason when Ryan Gravenberch will make up his mind whether he stays at Bayern Munich or whether he leaves Bayern. And not only did Bayern sign Konrad Laimer, but Bayern Munich are also thinking about signing Moises Caicedo. He was discussed at Bayern Munich in the last few days. That has been confirmed by Florian Plettenberg, a Bundesliga expert journalist. He still has no agreement, Moises Caicedo, with Chelsea, but Chelsea are the club who also want Caicedo the most apart from Bayern Munich. Thomas Tuchel probably has other plans and he's not really pushing for Caicedo at this stage because Caicedo probably would cost around 70-80 million pounds. I mean, the fact that Arsenal bid around 80 million pounds for Caicedo and they still didn't accept, Brighton didn't accept the transfer fee, shows that Caicedo is probably very, very overpriced. He's a brilliant player, but for his true value, he's pretty overpriced as well. And Liverpool have to get this transfer window right. We have to sign at least 2, potentially, hopefully, even 3 midfielders, including Alexis McAllister. So Alexis McAllister is a great start to the transfer window, but we need to sign 2 more midfielders because this season that just finished have seen a huge gap appear between Man City and Liverpool, or even Arsenal and Liverpool. A huge gap appeared. I mean, Liverpool finished something 20 points behind last season's points tally, 20 something points. So Liverpool have to invest into the playing squad, and we have to get every single transfer right because the owners still didn't get investment into FSG, and they still can't afford to spend more than probably 150 million pounds. So a great transfer window would go a long way into instilling belief into the Liverpool fan base, into the players themselves. Konate and Virgil van Dijk have recently called out the owners to spend more money. I already made a video on that. Make sure to watch that as well. So ultimately, the mantra for Liverpool next season will be to draw inspiration from the seasons where we challenged Man City for the title, where we started on fire and we kept going until the last day of the season. And we have to go into every game trying to win it and trying to dominate, and hopefully a more energetic, more vibrant, more physical and more dynamic midfield will go a long way into, helping Liverpool achieve that. So yeah, let me know, what do you think about Liverpool's transfer strategy, what kind of players we should sign. I think Liverpool have a pretty tough opening fixture list, but if we can catch Chelsea cold and Newcastle cold in very early in the season and go get some crucial 3 points away from home, I think we have to get as soon as possible our first away win of the season. After last season, we haven't won an away game until November. That will surely linger in the Liverpool players' minds if we fail to win our first game at Stamford Bridge. But we have a pretty good record at Stamford Bridge. I think since 2013 we only lost once at Chelsea. I don't want to jinx Liverpool, of course, but we only lost once since 2013 at Stamford Bridge, and that was in a season where we finished 5 points ahead of Chelsea anyway. But Liverpool have to get as quickly as possible their first win of the season away from home, because that will instill more belief, and we just have to be consistent. No matter if the game is home or away, Liverpool have to go out and try to win those games. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.